The Lost Colony of Roanoke, the history-defying mystery. The Lost Colony of Roanoke is one of the most intriguing mysteries in American history. Founded in 1585, in present-day North Carolina, the colony was abandoned 2 years later, without ever knowing what happened to its inhabitants. The history of the Roanoke colony begins in 1584, when English explorer Walter Raleigh received a royal charter from Queen Elizabeth I to establish a colony in North America. Raleigh was an ambitious and visionary man who believed that England could become a colonial power. Raleigh sent 2 expeditions to the coast of North America in 1584 and 1585. The first expedition, commanded by Philip O'Moders and Arthur Barlow, arrived at Roanoke Island, off the coast of North Carolina. The explorers were impressed by the beauty of the island and the hospitality of the Native Americans, who called it Croatoan. Based on the positive report from the first expedition, Raleigh sent a second expedition, commanded by Ralph Lane. The second expedition arrived in Roanoke in 1585, with about 100 colonists. Roanoke settlers faced many challenges. The island was small and rocky, and the soil was poor. The colonists also had trouble getting along with the Native Americans, who began to become hostile to their presence. In 1586, Lane decided to abandon the colony and return to England. He left 3 colonists behind, with the mission of warning Raleigh about the colony's failure. When Raleigh returned to Roanoke in 1587, the 3 colonists had disappeared. Raleigh sent a second expedition to Roanoke in 1588, with supplies and reinforcements. When the expedition arrived at the island, it found it deserted. The only clue left by the settlers was a mysterious inscription on the tree, Croatoan. Raleigh believed that the colonists had been killed by Native Americans. However, other theories suggest that the colonists may have been assimilated by Native Americans, or that they may have fled to another island. To this day, the mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke has never been solved. The colony's history continues to fascinate and intrigue people, and it remains one of the most famous mysteries in American history. Theories about what happened to the Roanoke settlers. There are many theories about what happened to the Roanoke settlers. The most popular theories include Native American attack. This is the most accepted theory. The settlers may have been killed by Native Americans, who were dissatisfied with their presence on the island. Assimilation by Native Americans. The colonists may have been assimilated by Native Americans, living among them. This theory is based on the inscription Croatoan found on the tree. Croatoan was the name of a Native American tribe that lived in the region. Escaped to another island, the colonists may have fled to another island, where they settled. This theory is based on the lack of evidence that the colonists were killed by Native Americans. The importance of the Roanoke colony. The colony of Roanoke was an important event in American history. It was the first attempt to establish a permanent English colony in North America. The colony's failure led Raleigh to abandon his plans to colonize North America, but it did not stop other English explorers from trying again. The story of the lost colony of Roanoke continues to be a reminder of the hardships and challenges that early American settlers faced. It's also a reminder that American history is full of mysteries that have yet to be solved. In 1587, Raleigh sent a third expedition to Roanoke, commanded by John White. White was an experienced painter and cartographer who had participated in the 2 previous expeditions. White arrived in Roanoke on August 8, 1587, with about 117 colonists, including women and children. The colonists were excited to start a new life in North America. White was only in Roanoke for a few months. He had to return to England for supplies and reinforcements. Before leaving, he left his wife, Eleanor White, and daughter, Virginia Dare, in the colony. Virginia Dare was the first English child born in North America. White returned to Roanoke in 1590, but the colony was deserted. The only clue he found was the inscription Croatoan found on the tree. White believed that the colonists had been assimilated by Native Americans and set out to search for them. However, he never encountered the colonists. Theories about what happened to the Roanoke settlers. The most widely accepted theory about what happened to the Roanoke settlers is that they were killed by Native Americans. This theory is based on the following facts. Colonists faced many challenges in Roanoke. The island was small and rocky, the soil was poor, and the settlers had trouble getting along with the Native Americans. The Native Americans of the region were hostile to outsiders. In 1586, the Roanoke colonists were attacked by Native Americans, and 2 colonists were killed. The inscription Croatoan found on the tree can be interpreted as a message of help. Croatoan was the name of a Native American tribe that lived in the region. However, there are other theories about what happened to the Roanoke settlers. One theory suggests that the colonists were assimilated by Native Americans. This theory is based on the fact that the inscription Croatoan was found on the tree. Another theory suggests that the colonists fled to another island. This theory is based on the lack of evidence that the colonists were killed by Native Americans. The importance of the Roanoke colony. The colony of Roanoke was an important event in American history. It was the first attempt to establish a permanent English colony in North America. The colony's failure led Raleigh to abandon his plans to colonize North America, but it did not stop other English explorers from trying again. The story of the lost colony of Roanoke continues to be a reminder of the hardships and challenges that early American settlers faced. It's also a reminder that American history is full of mysteries that have yet to be solved. Recent researches. In 2018, a team of archaeologists from the University of North Carolina at Wilmington conducted research on Roanoke Island. The team found evidence that the Roanoke colony was abandoned in 1590, but found no evidence that the colonists were killed by Native Americans. The team found the remains of a man and a woman who were buried in what appeared to be a cemetery. The remains showed no evidence of violence. The team also found evidence that settlers had built homes and grown food. This suggests that the settlers were preparing to stay on the island for a long time. The archaeological team's findings suggest that the most widely accepted theory about what happened to the Roanoke settlers, that they were killed by Native Americans, may not be correct. The mystery continues. Despite recent research, the mystery of the lost Roanoke colony has not yet been solved. The whereabouts of the Roanoke settlers remain a mystery that fascinates people to this day.